And with me for the first period of play as expert commentator, welcome once again to Frank Tyson.
Thank you very much indeed, Norman, and what a pleasure to be with you once again for this momentous Battle of the Ashes, this trophy that was instigated in 1882 at the Oval when England cricket was said to have died and the body cremated and the ashes taken to Australia. And here are these two teams battling it out as the first ball is about to be bowled by Willis around the wicket, notice, to Wood.
And they're going through for a single. That looks to be well run. Yes, well called. And they're 3 for 1. That's the first run of the match. Wood has won. Cozier to face his first ball. Australia, none for 1.
Now let's say just a few words about the wicket. The wicket is very well grassed. The press have said that there might be a little bit of early life in this pitch because of the amount of grass on it. The previous matches so far this season in Queensland have shown that the ball has moved off the seam, but not moved very quickly. An additional factor in favour of the batsman will be the fact that the wicket was not covered overnight. The covers were left off. The pitch was guarded, and consequently there's been very little or no sweating underneath the covers, and there will, I don't think, be very much early moisture in this pitch.
And a run here, yes, away to mid-wicket for a single. So both batsmen have scored a run. Australia, no wicket for 2. Well, he didn't know too much about that one.
Ball just moving slightly off the seam. Willis will doubtless be angling the ball into the left-hander. Willis is not a great swinger of the ball through the air, but he does keep that seam very straight and he makes the ball move off the pitch. And that one just surprised Wood. Both of these players, very good runners between the wickets, as you probably realise, with those 2 sharp singles that have put Australia already in the asset category.
And they're going through again. Gower coming in, a shot at the stumps. Hit the stumps, he's out. Cozier's out. Cozier has been run out. There's sensation. Cozier run out for 1. Australia 1 for 2.
Oh.
Gower, the fieldsman, in cover.
Yes, a great underarm return, Gower. Just coming in very quickly, and he was spot on with that return. I'm just wondering, Cozier to me looked as though he was safe. There's only one thing that I can say, that if he was making good his ground, he left his bat in the air. He certainly looked physically well within the crease. Let's watch it again. Here it goes. There's the single. Cozier now coming down the wicket. Here comes Gower. But no, Cozier had his bat down. So he was obviously just found short. Tui, of course, coming in now at a real moment of crisis. Well, it's funny, I was just saying that there were quick takers of singles. Wood in particular runs very quickly between the wickets. He and Charlesworth are a well-known single combination in Western Australia. On that occasion, I'm afraid Wood's quickness between the wicket wasn't matched by Cozier.
Now a very interesting field for Tui. We have 3 slips, 2 gullies and a point. Only 2 onside fieldsmen. Willis to Tui. And they're taking a single here, and that's not a very good run either. They had to hurry at the last moment. They pushed it wide of the fieldsman Randall. Now, players like Randall and Gower should be respected in the field. And that beat him all up. That was a good ball.
Yes. Like
and
that.
Again a good ball.
Like that, I was... That wasn't a little bit of movement, that was a lot.
And they're taking a single, yes, an easy one there. Boycott the fieldsman at mid-on, so Tui is 1. That's his first run, 1 for 5. Oh, and that almost cut him in half.
That almost bowled him. He made up his mind to let that ball go. which he did, and then he got out of the way. And in so doing, left his stumps open. Let's just watch this again. Willis pretty wide on the crease, as you notice, angling the ball in. Here it comes, and it's going to come further back across to it. It went straight over the top of the middle stump.
Tui has been bowled by Willis for 1. Australia 2 for 5.
Well, that was a very, very airy-fairy shot indeed. Tui was trying to drive that ball. It was a ball that cut back in from outside the off stump. The hero of the moment, bowling that ball coming into Tui, and Tui, as you can see, drove at the ball, left a gap between bat and pad, and the rest is history. It's in the scorebook.
Wood is not out too. The new batsman is the Australian captain, Yallop. Well, that's the first actual bouncer we've seen in the match so far. And runs here, there might be a couple. There's a chase round for Boycott. They've taken 1, coming back for 2. First runs to Yallop, here's 2. Wood facing up to Old.
Oh. And again, Wood pretending that he didn't play at that, but he did. He did.
And a Keelf caught behind, he's out. Wood caught Taylor, bowled Old for 7. Yallop not out 3. Australia 3 for 14. Old has 1 for 6.
I think it had to happen. It had to happen because Wood had played and played and missed outside that off stump time and time and time again. And Old thoroughly deserved that wicket. He'd beaten the bat perhaps more than Willis has, and eventually Wood, just playing for the in-swing, got the outside edge. As you can see, Wood knew that he'd hit it. He must have known also that Taylor wasn't going to miss that catch.
Well, with the new batsman coming in, Hughes, we have a new commentator moving in, Frank Tyson, away for the moment, and welcome here in Brisbane to Keith Miller. We'll talk to him after this ball. So it's Old to bowl to Hughes. That one going away. Well, Keith, you're going to take wickets or get runs?
Well, it's you could see from that final delivery that that ball pitched and went wide. It seemed tremendous amounts away to the leg side, and this is very like English conditions, and I've always said that nobody bowls better on these type of conditions than English bowlers. Well, there's give you another example. That ball pitched is on about the off stump, and it seemed to went very wide of the stumps at the end. But even Willis, who is the fastest man bowling around here today, he's even sort of cut down his pace and more or less working on a consistent line and length. And that ball, as I say, it really whipped away and making it very difficult for the batsman.
Wicket's playing, it's obviously seaming around a bit. There's a little bit in the track, but it's fairly slow. There's not that much bounce there. If our blokes can see it out for a bit longer, I think it'll develop into a really good batting wicket.
What a great morning start here for England. Chris Old continuing to bowl. And that's the chance, and it's dropped. So a let off for the Australian captain. Dukes the offender at second slip.
Well, he dived in the air for it, but had plenty of time to see the ball, Jim, and I thought it should have been really swallowed, that one. Now, you watch it go away, he follows it, and it goes high, but Old has plenty of time to see the ball.
This is a 7th over for Bob Willis, who's only given away 10 runs to date, making that early breakthrough. There's the short one, Keith. I don't know, you were a hooker in your day. I don't know what you thought about that shot.
Yeah, it would have been right if it connected, because there's not a man in the outfield, only a man just behind, very short behind the backward leg there. What's this delivery? It's very wide outside the off stump. Well, Sir Donald Bradman, no doubt, will be looking at that shot, and the greatest hooker the game has known, apart from being the greatest batsman, and I think Don would be shaking his head, saying, naughty, naughty.
I think his feet might possibly have been in a better position, Keith. So Willis again to Hughes. And that's edged away. Half chance. Gooch giving chase to it. Pull it up. Hughes will pick up 2 for it. So Willis turned now to bowl to the Australian captain into a left-hander, Graham Yallop. And gets a good one, and he's got an outside edge, and he's gone, and Gooch has made no mistake this time. Willis breaks through again. 4 Australians out. The score is only on 19, and it's been very much England's morning here.
Well, that is right on the stumps, and Yallop had to play it. And opposite seam back towards the slip. Now let's watch this. It's bung on line of the stumps. So Yallop committed. Obviously it cut away and went straight to Gooch, who was straight in like going into a great sack. Well, look at that. Good catch.
I thought it was a particularly good delivery. Keith pitched right on target there around about the leg, and little cut away, and a very difficult ball to deal with.
There's another angle of the same delivery. Oh yes, right across the blade of the bat.
So Laughlin, first ball then from Willis. Well, he's pushed that away, should get a couple here. They've run the first one quickly, Gow's chasing, and there's no problem there for the left-hander to come back, get off the mark straight away with 2 runs. And really possibly thinking that the outswinger is going to be the ball is going to concentrate. Done away with the short leg now. So 4 slips and 2 gullies. Gooch. Boycott's found his way there now.
Jim, I'm just looking at the size of those fellas in slips there. What are they, getting around the 6-foot mark out there? They look rather tall from our high vantage spot here.
The fella's solidly built, and there's a good outswinger. It's moved away, and both of them have struck again in his very first over. Kim Hughes has gone.
Well, here we go again. We see this outswinger, which Jim Laker has been telling us about, has taken a lot of wickets in the short career. He did not get his foot far enough across, and he just got a very thin edge, and it's all right to sit up here and criticise, but playing your first test against what you'd call a rather dicey pitch to bat on is not funny. As you see the inspection of the wicket there, and having a look at the grassy spots, there's quite a lot of it there, and no doubt the cheering, of course, is the local hero, John McLean.
It's guard Randall, a long chat with both of them. Don't know whether he's got some special information about the new batsman, but facing his first ball in Test match cricket. And pushes it away nicely. They get a great roll for that, and jolly well done. Good luck to him. He'll get 2 for it. And very nice to get off the mark like that. And you can almost see, Keith, the big sigh of relief and the great enthusiastic applause from this crowd that greeted those first 2 runs. So still 3 slips, 2 gullies. Lachlan facing Willis. And that's hooked away, it's gone down to lever at long leg, and he's taken a great gap. And they've fallen for the bouncer again. And would you believe Australia have lost 6 wickets here this morning in less than an hour and a half's play. Willis takes his 3rd wicket. Cloughlin gone, caught sub. It was John Lever on the long leg boundary. And this is the way it happened.
Willis pounding one this in, and Lachlan not really getting into position at all. Very ungainly. He's not normally a hooker, Trevor Lachlan, and that time he certainly has fallen for the 3 card tricks. It's a very good catch by Lever, coming in quickly and making it, in the end, fairly easily. But he moved well, probably around about 20 yards. And, Jim, that's really a tremendous start for England.
That's steered away, got it through the slips this time. That could be the first 4 of this Test match. So local boy John McLean gets the first 4, and they'll give him plenty of applause for that.
got a slight change in the field now for Willis. He's got Miller tucked in at short leg. Dispense with one of the slips.
And that's a glorious shot. Not quite timed, but showed his intentions. Randall chasing it, and a nifty bit of work just prevents it reaching the fence. They'll take 3 comfortable runs there. Half volley, and very, very nicely put away indeed by Yardley. Really the best shot we've seen in the morning's play today.
Botham waiting, going to continue with this aggressive field. 3 slips, 2 gullies. He's got Edmonds crouching in at square point. Willis down at long leg. And just 2 men in front of the bat. One on the offside, one on the leg side. So ready to resume. And it's Botham coming in. Nearly disaster first ball. Very, very fortunate to get away with that. Played no sort of a shot at it, got a top edge. He's got 4 for it over the top of the wicket-keeper's head.
And Jim, it's certainly not the ball you'd expect from the first ball after lunch, and that's clever bowling by Ian Botham. It was a very good bouncer then.
So the 50 coming up. Yardley's made up his mind, it seems, that he's going to try and play a few shots, do something about this. If he'd got an outside edge, so he might well have got another 4 over the top of the slips. Well, that's edged away and it's dropped. And Graham Gooch has dropped another. He dropped one earlier in the day, and that one's gone down as well. So our life there for Yardley. So Willis coming into Yardley. And that's surely out. It's a thick edge. Taylor's caught it. Yardley goes. Willis picks up his 4th wicket. And Australia have got 7 men out with 53 on the board.
Far end camera. Face on there for Botham.
That's a good hearty blow. Beaten Randall and racing away through the outfield for 4. So the over-pitch ball, the half volley, getting what it deserved. A very good off drive there from Rodney Hogg. Treated that in Cavalier style. Lofted it, crashed it over the bowler's head. It's another long chase for Randall. And they just about made the 3rd. There's no 3rd man, it's Gower giving chase. I think that's going to beat Gower this time. It's catching him up. A valiant dive, but the ball wins. And the 4 runs for Rodney Hogg. He's avoided the slips again, and that'll go through for 4 more. Gower chasing it, but no hope at all of cutting it off.
And that's the 100 up for Australia. Well, we didn't think it was possible. They've reached it after 6 for 26. And that's a 50 partnership. That won't be 4. Comfortable 2 as Randall feels. And he's caught, is he? Yes, he's out. Hogg caught Taylor, bowled Botham for 36, a very fine innings. McLean is not out 31, 7 sundries, 8 for 113.
Yes, well, that you can see then Hogg, who played a very fine innings. You watch him chase the ball, it swings away, and you watch he doesn't get over the ball, reaches for it. There you are, reaching away. You can see the stick quite clearly.
Appeal for caught behind, he's out. Yes, Hurst caught Taylor, bowled Botham, no score. McLean not out 31, 2 wickets falling in this over, 9 for 113, Botham 3 for 40.
Well, he's got the magic touch, but what's the man, the batsman, Hurst, is not very happy about this decision. Fieldsmen are quite happy. Well, it seems to come reasonably straight, but Botham has no doubt.
It all goes right back to that toss, doesn't it, Keith? Would you have sent them in?
No, I made the statement, Norman. A lot of people, a lot of the pressmen, no doubt, will, after the debacle, will attack Yallop. But it's all right. It's all easy, I should say, to talk after the event. I think he had no hesitation in batting. I would have done the same, and no disrespect to Yallop, I would have definitely have batted.
And bowled him. It's all over. Higgs bowled by Old for 1. McLean remains not out. 133, not out 33 McLean. 7 sundries, all out 116. We'll look at this last dismissal on replay, and then we'll give you the full board for Australia. And repeating for those of you interested, here's the replay. Keith Miller will talk about it. Last dismissal.
You watch this swing through the air. It shows a bit of movement still in this air, because although Higgs is not a batsman, he played well inside it. Well inside it, and England have done very well. They must be very happy, and after the bad start, I'm sure that even Graham Yallop is quite happy.
So John McLean on the right-hand side getting a hero's welcome. He remained undefeated, not out 33. A very fine performance for the Australian keeper in his first Test match, and he leads the players off the field. So Australia, after one stage, being 6 for 26, all out for 116.
Australia all out for 116. Not a big score, but under these conditions, let's just see how the English batsmen handle things.
So, the situation is Australia all out for 116. England now about to start their reply. The field set by Graham Yallop, fairly aggressive. 4 slips, a gully, a cover point, short leg, mid-on, and we have a man down at deep fine leg as Boycott faces Alan Hurst, first ball.
Watching Hogg there, he makes a sort of double mark on his run. He's taken his indicator back to the first of the 2 marks, and he has a second bowling mark here. Now, Frank, as a fast bowler, what's all that about?
Well, the mark further away is the acceleration mark. He starts his run there on that first mark, and then accelerates from there.
And well played by Gooch. That's the first runs of the innings. There should be a couple here. They're back for a second. An easy 2. And a chance almost. That's an appeal for court. He didn't take it. The fieldsman indicating he didn't take it. Now that was almost a chance.
Let's just watch Gooch. He'll go right onto the back foot. He'll go onto the back foot before the ball's bowled now.
And in the air, is he out? Yes, he's out. Gooch has been caught by Lachlan, bowled Hurst, and Gooch stood there for 5 seconds after that decision was given, and England are 1 for 2.
I think that was a back pad. Must have been, because it certainly hit him on the pad. Let's look at it again. Hogg bowling to Gooch. Gooch onto the back foot. Hits him there on pad and goes off the pad into the gully. And I think Gooch was standing there because he didn't think that the ball had hit the bat.
There's a sensational wicket straight away, and Australia fighting back into the game. And look at the elation on Lachlan's face there. And Randall coming in now at number 3 with England, 1 for 2.
It's renewed again now with Alan Hurst from the far end. Oh, that's hooked away by Randall. And quickly onto that fine shot, kept it down, swept away down just behind square for 4. Oh, it's hooked away, it's in the air, it's beaten long leg, and it goes for 4 again. And that's a typical boycott shot. That's the one that he's, over the years, played better than any other shot in the book. The one just short of a length, cracked away. It brings him his first boundary, and will do him a power of good. Oh, that was a bad ball. Full toss outside the leg stump. Gets the treatment from Randall. Wasn't going to miss out on that gift. Turns it away for 4. So 4 boundaries already to Derek Randall. He's leading this English reply.
The Englishman got 1 appeal against the light. They came back after a short spell. Randall up and happy. Appeal again. It was knocked back. And in response, Randall himself hit this magnificent 6.
And he played at that one. That was a good ball.
Boycott kicking the ground there in disgust at playing and offering of that one. Not happy with himself at all. It's the replay. Hogg now pounding in just short of a length. That one's taken off. Look at that. Boycott has lost his composure there. One of the few times that he hasn't been perfectly balanced. Look at that back foot. It slipped away towards the leg side.
And chance is caught by Hughes. Magnificent catch. Left-hand catch by Hughes. Boycott caught Hughes, bowled Hogg for 13. A vital wicket for Australia. It's 2 for 38. Brilliant, the next batsman. And Hogg has 2 for... Let's see, the board isn't up yet. 2 for 2, is it? But here's the replay.
Here's the replay with Hogg. Boycott with this open stance now has left himself exposed. Look, he's opened up there. Got square onto the ball. Hughes has caught it nicely. Very low to the ground. And the delighted Bruce Yardley there does a pirouette in midair. Here again, you'll see it now. He's opened his body up, played away, up in the air. And that's not a Jeff Boycott shot.
And a hook shot, he might be just wide of the fieldsman. That wasn't too far away from Wood. He's got onto it. It's going to be 4. Now, that wasn't all that good a shot. And a nice looking stroke. That one, he timed it very well indeed. That's coming down to the boundary. Very close to a straight drive, just fractionally on the onside.
England 2 for 60 at the end of the first day's play.